Okay, call the meeting to order. First thing is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next, the approval of minutes.
Motion, we approve the minutes.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Pfaff, seconded by Mrs. Riddell to approve the minutes. Any discussion? Mrs. Riddell?
Yes.
Mrs. Paprski?
Yes.
Mr. Baczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Pfaff?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 5-0. Next, the approval of claims.
Make a motion, we approve the claims.
I'll second the motion. Motion made by Mr. Baczynski, seconded by Albert to approve the claims. Any discussion? Mrs. Riddell?
Yes.
Mrs. Paprski?
Yes.
Mr. Baczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Pfaff? Yes. Albert votes yes, passes 5-0. Next, utilities. MCO, you're on the air.
Okay, everybody should have a copy of the report. Gas chlorine system's been registered, actually with, believe it or not, Department of Homeland Security. That's who we had to register it with, so that's taken care of finally. It took me about a long time to figure out how to do it. The voltage regulator has not showed up yet, so we'll give Eva Parr a call about getting that installed. Follow up on item sanitary inspection. Got several of them corrected. The old equipment's been removed. We're going to get pricing for chemical containment chloride room. We did eliminate the old SCBA tank. We have not begun getting a list of cross connection backflow preventer places that have those. We finished updating emergency response plan, and we will be getting a couple quotes for getting the water tower, the 200,000 gallon one inspected this year. Adam and Bryce have been working on locating the valves throughout town and began with Water Tower Place. We're probably next going to move towards the Kohler Road area too on that, and then start working on some of the other ones. We want to get some of that stuff, some of those located. And we haven't forgotten about the leaking valve at the intersection of Main and Valparaiso Streets. We're going to be looking at that this week to see how we can shut it down, if we can shut it down, and how to proceed with it. We did find a inserted valve that was not on the map, so we're hoping that will we'll be able to partially shut it down, and we'll go from there and see what we need to do. So we're trying not to have to. Well, we're going to have to shut probably from where the break was to the west. They'll be without water, so we'll have to do a planned oil advisory for that area because we'll actually have to cut the valve out. But we're hoping that's as much as we'll have to do on that. Tom's been doing a lot of work on the mapping and that. And he's really got a lot of stuff put together and get stuff to where we know where some things are and that type of thing. Our base maps right now, they're there. They're not very accurate and they're very difficult to use right now. So on the wastewater, the North Clarifier is running. The spacer, we did get the spacer installed. We're probably going to try putting it in service this week or next, see how well it works. Then we'll probably take it out of service, and we're going to check to make sure it's plumb, and one of the stilling welder to make sure it's level. I know it's not. And then we'll have to go from there on how do we want to proceed on who we need to call about getting it, and we want to explain to why it wasn't probably installed right if it wasn't. So. We met with brainstormers regarding the service of the computer system. They did provide a quote. Lori and I met, and so we have that quote. We're working on a program for cleaning and televising some of the gravity sewers in town. Adam did receive a quote just for budget purposes. I think what we need to do is we need direction on how you guys want to proceed. I think we probably need to, put together a plan, a specification on how we want to proceed with it. I think get an engineer involved in doing that, because what I've seen in the past, it's more than just cleaning and running a camera on it. Because if you start running a camera and then you see problems, then we probably need to fix those. And typically, what they will call is heavy cleaning or that, and that's a whole different price on that. That's why I would say it probably makes sense to at least bid it out. We just need we'll have to determine, Tom and I, or however, and Adam, we can determine the areas that we want to start out with on that. But I think it'd make a lot of sense to get a specification put together and then bid it out. Because there will probably be I'm assuming there's probably 3 or 4 companies that might be interested in doing that. I'm sure AccuDig will be one of them, and they do pretty good work too, so.
Maybe next meeting we'll have I can see if John from McMahon can give a proposal on what it would cost to do a specification to bid that.
And then we can take a look at the specifications and know whether or not we need to just bid it, or go out and just take the specifications and quotes, as opposed to going through the formal bidding process. Because most of the time when you're talking about televising and cleaning, you're not looking at necessarily having to do bidding.
No.
But going out to get multiple quotes, once we know what the specifications are, we might get good go.
Okay. Because that'll keep it more to apples and apples, because what we'll run into is it'll be apples to oranges if we don't have something put together. It makes it really, really difficult to pick them and get some comparative pricing on that for that job. So, Adam did get one of the sludge dumpsters ordered. He's got it online. They've had to make a few minor modifications to it. So, Mark Boutel from MV Controls did provide a proposal. I brought this up probably almost a year ago. We're having problems getting the data off of our SCADA system into a format that we can actually look at and use. The cost is $21.50. I think he's going to put Excel logger or something in, and there's and another software is needed to do that. So that was his quote for that, and I apologize. I thought the quote was attached. It's not. And item 6, we did have a problem with the Westville Estates lift station during a high wind event. The problem with that station is it's old and it's difficult on the with the alarm systems and that. It does not have phase monitoring. It does not have voltage monitoring. And if it would have had some sort of voltage monitoring, we would have known right away. As I said before, that lift station's on its last legs. I really think it needs to be upgraded. We can look into how we want to do it. My personal opinion is I don't think I would go with the same type of lift station you have there. I think we can modify it with submersible pumps a lot more cost effectively than to put one of those wet well mount systems that's got all the moving parts on top, and then it will eliminate the heater that we have to run every year. And we just probably have to buy a spare pump. One thing that we'd have to do is we probably put when we do this, include a new flow meters, I think, so the accuracy's better. I probably question the accuracy of the existing meter, and then we'd also put a bypass pumping system, so if everything went down, we could at least get some trash pumps or something that we could actually bypass the station in a long-term outage. So, but I think that's something that we should really consider. It's getting in pretty bad shape.
So, that one will have McMahon kind of give us a budget of what it would cost for the engineering for the submersible pumps versus what we have.
And we probably have them help us spec it out. And I think we could probably just get some quotations to get it done. I think we could kind of oversee it ourselves on that. So, I really don't think it's gonna cost relatively speaking, a lot of money. But I think it'll be more cost effective than trying to replace what's there. So, 'cause they're small pumps, they're not big pumps, but the internals are, they're toast, they're, I don't know how old that station is, it's gotta be 30 or 40 years old, and I don't think a whole lot's been done to it. So,
I agree, so that's something we can work towards for next meeting.
yeah, we'll be more than happy to work on that.
That'd be good. I got some proposals that we gotta see if we can get approved in the meeting. The first one, Nathan brought up, was on MB controls, that's for the wastewater plant
Yep.
controls, to update it so we can have a better way of monitoring, what's going on in the wastewater plant. The cost for that, MB controls proposal was $2,150. I'd like to make a motion that we approve that proposal and charge that to the machine and equipment with wastewater fund. I believe it is machine equipment.
Machinery and equipment?
Yeah.
Okay. Motion made by Mr. Pfaff, seconded by Mr. Wyszynski to have MB Controls make the modifications necessary and the money being taken out of machines and equipment. Any discussion? Mrs. Riddell?
Yes.
Mrs. Thorsky?
Yes.
Mr. Wyszynski?
Yes.
Mr. Pfaff?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 5-0.
Next item I had was it's regarding the dumpsters. So we got a new dumpster, so we have an older dumpster we need to get rid of. So if you're with the lawnmower, when you work through the auction or the bid process for that, or can we move the dumpster in with that too? Do them on the same day? That might save with advertising and stuff like that.
Put them both in the same
Yeah.
notice. Ones that need a description.
Okay, we can do that size. The next,
And who to contact, yeah, I'd have to make some modifications on that one.
is it already out?
No,
Okay.
almost was, but.
Yeah, if we could. That way we don't have it sitting and
Okay.
get rid of the thing all the time. The next item was brought up too, Nathan brought up, was on the brainstorm computers at the wastewater plant. As you well know, over the years, we've had a lot of issues out there. None of us are tech gurus or anything like that, and there's also that question of us needing a good storage backup and firewall for our system. Brainstorm came out, remember we approved them to come out and evaluate our system. What I'd like to recommend and us approve is the Brainstorm Life Jacket Essentials. Their service is $295 a month, but that'll at least give us the backup, them monitoring it, backing it up, and then also someone we can call can actually come out and work on the equipment at a lower price. And this, I'd like to approve this coming out of, or make a motion to approve this coming out of, I think it's rental and service out of wastewater.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Pfaff, seconded by Mrs. Riddell to have brainstormers for $295 a month do their, for the I guess it would be a maintenance contract and firewall protection and such. That's the best description. Be taken out of rental and services. Is there any discussion? Mrs. Riddell?
Yes.
Mrs. Thorsky?
Yes.
Mr. Wyszynski?
Yes.
Mr. Pfaff?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 5-0.
Sorry, to move on today. All right, I got two more things. The next thing I wanted to bring up was Lori, Nathan, and I were able to meet with NIPSCO. There was a lot of concern with NIPSCO rates going up, potentially 12% this year. So we've been trying to get hold of their customer service rep, and we're able to get one of them out here. And the other question came up was with other rate structures and comparisons. We did learn a lot in that meeting. It was definitely a very positive meeting for us. We have, I think, 3 rate structures we're proposing to change, and that's basically our wastewater plant and 2 of the lift stations, and that itself, those alone are going to provide around $18,000 in savings per year just by changing the rates. We also caught that we have 3 accounts that have a third-party gas company attached to them, which is Spark Energy. It used to be called, I think, utility services that we found 2006 bill. With that, I think we moved to canceling that third-party service. It's substantially higher than what NIPSCO would charge. If anybody, I got a spreadsheet here if anybody would like to look at it, but that itself is going to save around $8,000 us canceling that third party. NIPSCO is going to do a comparison study of that as well, so we have record of it, and then we can get off that. The problem with third parties is you almost have to evaluate them every year, and with councils changing constantly, that makes it very difficult for us. Right? Unless we have like somebody like we don't really, we're all elected officials, it changes. Even employees can change, so with that, I don't think a third party I'd recommend that right now. And then with the wastewater treatment plant, I'd like to mention they're switching out our meter. I think they're gonna look at power factor, he said, so he's gonna, there might be ways for us to save even further. There's different riders, but for now, we'll change the base, the rate structures, and then move into looking at what else we can do. I wanted to bring that up, so hopefully that's a big savings there, because the next item is a little bit of an investment into our system. This is a GIS proposal. After our water main break and what Nathan's mentioned with our mapping, there's definitely a need for us to have an accurate map, valve locations, service valve locations, manhole locations, even with the sewer backup and tracking down where our sewers are flowing. McMahon has provided a proposal to us to use ArcGIS and then also have MCO work through MCO to create a GIS database and incorporate on a map. Basically, they've done this through even we're not a pilot group. Randy Decker, right? Mm-hmm. He did a presentation for me just to kind of give me an idea of what Hebron's using it for. They're using it for their police, or they're not using it for police force, but it can be used for police force. Their fire department's using it. They're using it for roads. They're using it for documenting all their water main breaks. So they actually have a map. They can see they had 14 line breaks, and they can see that general area. They actually use that to get a grant for that part of the system. But it's a good way to keep history, track history. For us, if we have a water main break and we need to shut valves off in the middle of winter, it's covered up with 3 feet of frozen snow. We can call up them. They can locate it within a foot. We know exactly where the valves are.
What would they use it for? Streets like paving, maintenance, and things like that?
Yeah. So probably this asset management plan that Jim's worked real hard on to do, that could be incorporated into that. Also, if Bubba, say, repairs a road, or we patch a road, or we're having issues, you can actually upgrade. It's as simple as touching it on your phone, putting the information in, and adding it to the website. And it's
street side inventory.
Yeah.
It's another one. I mean,
and all their council has access to that. So if you have a question from somebody in the general public, you can get that information. It's viewable, not editable, but the council obviously, but that at least you can see on the ground what's going on. And then another instance, it was really pushed by their economic development as well, because when customers come in, they have questions about zoning, that's incorporated into it, and then also where water and sewer utilities are on a property, you have it right on the tip of your fingers to answer that question. You can take a snapshot on your phone and send it to that customer instantly. That's a big thing we've had in Westville. We've had several customers ask about capacity where water and sewer lines are. Right now, it takes a mess of time between, sometimes we might be getting a hold of the attorney to help facilitate conversations, Charlie Ray, McMahon, MCO, Adam, with utilities here. We're getting a bunch of people when the information could already be readily available. They're using it for line locates too. What did you say? It took like 40 hours. It used to take 40 hours to locate like maybe a couple lines. Now they're doing it in minutes.
Yeah, it's work orders. They put those on, and I mean, you can have a file for every address that's on your address map, and you can hit that, and you can bring up whatever you want. As long as the data's been entered, and that's going to be the thing is how much time and on it, getting to the data entry on it. So
that's a good point. It's only going to be as good as.
Yep.
I mean, I think if we're going to have the town start this with utilities, I think the more people we can get into this, the better it's going to make our town. It's going to be something data kept, not lost. ArcGIS is a very common system. I think Porter County uses it. I think Valparaiso does this. It would give us the cutting edge of a small community to have this, especially with new customers coming in. And they do call. I mean, we are constantly getting calls. So the total cost is, if you haven't seen it, for just the initial coordination field data collection, it was $5,000 for sanitary sewer, $8,000 for the water system, and then just the setup of everything, and the maps is around $9,500, and then this is gonna be an annual fee of $950 a year for just having everything available online on the cloud. What I recommend is, since this is water and sewer, that we split it up: sewer $10,225, and then water $13,225. And then pulling this, the way I see this as is a more of an investment that's gonna save us on future projects as well, because we're not gonna have engineers just doing a lot of preliminary, studying. It should cut us our preliminary engineering costs down. So I'd recommend we pull this out of the maintenance fund, out of water and sewer, and not pull out of our general operating.
Maintenance improvement fund of each.
Does anybody have any, questions? Kinda ran through that kind of fast.
I got one question on MCO's report,
Yeah,
and I didn't hear it. And I know they have totalizers. So how many gallons did you actually process in the sewer last month off this totalizers? And if you got that, that means we also have the last 2 months. So we can figure out what an average over the last 3 months is? Based on the totalizers
For what?
for sewage process?
For the whole, for the entire
Yeah.
town?
Yeah,
Yeah, we can do that. I can give you 2 months right now if you want.
sure. If they're, I'm just thinking that they should be fairly close to being the same.
January is 5,393,000, February is 5,808,000.
Okay.
and what is your point on?
Because I had a water main break that was basically two 3/4 inch lines that filled into a crawl space, and my water consumption was 139,000 gallons. Not arguing the meter, but I am arguing that it never hit the sewers.
So what you're asking for, going
It's a
through all
break-
that
it's a
question
break.
was an adjustment.
Is an adjustment on the sewage. But based on the fact that the totalizers are saying that they didn't see a big gallon change. I mean, 139,000 would have showed up.
There was a 500,000 gallon difference between the month,
Were you?
wasn't there?
Mhm.
So, I mean,
All
when you
right.
think of 5 million gallons, Dave, 100,000 isn't,
Not much at all.
not much.
No? All right.
Is it?
No, not really.
Okay. So what you're asking for, and we have a resolution that each, 2018-10,
Well, it was 2018-10 amended, 2016-1.
2018-10, I'm paraphrasing because I don't have it right in front of me.
I got read it if you want me to.
Sure.
Unless you want to do his thing first.
Yeah, sure, he should. Sorry, we'll put
But,
you on hold.
I mean, it's all right, but I mean, it's
We'll put you on hold a minute.
But I mean, that is something that I kinda like to be interested in, is totalizers.
So as far as the GIS goes, this is GIS mapping. Does anybody have any questions about? And if anybody wants more information, I can get you a number. Maybe we get something set up with McMahon or to look at it. Definitely really useful.
I think over the years, it'll pay for itself as far as engineering fees and everything else to go along with it when you can access
Real
it
fast.
fast.
Yeah, real fast.
With accuracy.
Yeah, with accuracy.
Because to think about it, if something's missed on the drawings, and you have to go back and get a change order for it.
And the annual fee, is that gonna come out of the, like, service agreement
Yeah, we should put, that's a good point.
for the 950?
So I have to back out.
Because that's technically,
Yeah, you're right. You should back out 425 out of.
I mean, I can split that in 50
Yeah.
every year coming out of each appropriation for
Otherwise,
service agreement.
that should
But
come out of
that's what you
service agreement.
Okay.
We need to back 125 out of both those numbers.
One thing we did notice when we had the water issue, during the polar vortex, it's amazing how many valves on 421 are in the area where there's gonna be big piles of snow. And boy, I'll tell you, just that part alone will be really, really handy and really good to have, to be able to find those valves. 'Cause that night when we were out looking for them, you just didn't have the time to find them.
It's really interesting when snow melted.
Oh, there they are.
A couple days later.
Knew they were there somewhere. But yeah.
Sorry, Tom, I just want to make sure. You want to take that out of fees or service agreement? Is that an actual fee to do that annually?
Yeah, it is a fee.
Like,
What's
you
your
have, let's
fee?
pick out a few if you don't mind. Okay.
So what you,
So,
Sorry.
what I wanna make a motion that we, approve the, McMahon proposal, for the GIS services. $9,800 going to sewer maintenance. $12,800 going to water maintenance, and then, splitting the licensing fees of, so $425 to water fees and then $425 to sewer fees.
the annual, that's.
And that'll be an annual cost, so, both of those.
Okay, that was a motion?
Yes.
Okay, I was writing and, okay, and I'll second the motion. The motion is that we go into the agreement for the GIS proposal with sewer maintenance, 9,800, water, 12,008, and then both utilities splitting the annual fee.
Yes.
Is there any discussion? Mrs. Riddell?
Yes.
Mrs. Zaforski?
Yes.
Mr. Krasinski?
Yes.
Mr. Pratt?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 5-0. And you have IT maintenance?
I did that, that was
You
the
got that.
brainstorm.
Okay. So now we're ready for Dave?
Yes.
Okay. Push the whole button off, Dave.
Yeah, I am getting it off.
Oh, that's a phone, I didn't even mean, yeah, I meant just we put you on hold with the discussion.
But that's all right, that's the other thing.
You had it repaired?
Not yet, I got it shut off. It ain't leaking. Now I'm waiting for the ground to thaw out a little bit, so I can get in there and cut it with portable bandsaws and repair bulk lines
And it went crawl space.
in a crawl space.
So the sewer didn't take all
Didn't
that.
take the hit, no.
You took some of the $100,000 that you used.
Well, some of it, I'm not gonna say, if we go back to my history,
Well,
my average is about 4,500 gallons on that place over the last couple months.
You didn't have any tenants in it, no?
Now, I got tenants, but, and in the last 2 months, it hasn't changed, it's still gonna be about 4,500, so I have no problem taking that.
we,
But if you got an ordinance, you said you had an ordinance, revised ordinance,
Do you wanna know what it says?
Yes.
This was the amendment in 2018-10. Town council will only consider adjustments to monthly sewer and or water bills for customers who have experienced a water leak that occurred on the owner's side of the town water meter and results in water not being discharged into the town sanitary sewer system. In these limited circumstances, any customer seeking an adjustment is required to apply in writing to the town council for consideration of adjustment of the sewer portion of the bill only. The owner shall provide evidence that an adequate repair to the leak has been performed before requesting an adjustment. Customers are strongly encouraged to timely pay the bill that they are seeking to have adjusted in full, so as to avoid penalties accruing if their request is denied. That's how it reads.
so it hasn't been repaired.
hasn't been repaired, well, it's actually been shut off, and I'll repair it over the next 2 weeks. Because inside that place, I have 1 meter and 3 lines and 3 shut-offs. So technically, it is repaired with shutting it off. The line itself needs to be repaired to restore water, but I have to go upstairs and clean out all the, replace all the shut-off valves upstairs that are now correct. So.
Well, it's just repair the leak.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I got a ball valve that shuts off the supply right now.
yeah, we'll have Adam look at it and investigate it. Wouldn't that be the appropriate? Or what do you think, Randy?
Well, I've just read you what your resolution says. I mean, obviously, it's your decision as to how you want to apply your resolution. If you want to.
Based on a repair bill and all the parts and labor, I can do that upon completion, if
The
that's what it
question
would
is,
take.
what adjustment are you going to take, an average of the preceding 3 months' bills for purposes of computing the average, and apply that as the sewer bill?
I'm good with that.
Well, I mean, that's up to you. It says you can make an adjustment. The question is, what methodology you can use to make an adjustment? I mean, it would
Probably the only
seem
fair way to
reasonable
do
to
it.
go and look at an average of the period of time prior to the leak, you know, a full month, to determine what that consumption was and use that as then the consumption for purposes of recomputing the sewer bill and then adjusting off the rest.
I think that makes sense, 3 months average, adjusting. Is that what we've done in the, well, we've only done this one time, right? We changed this,
Yes.
Last-
That was good.
that was the school.
Because they had a valve, they had a line leaking outside by the concession stand, it was blowing up through the valve box.
Yeah. it
And I
was.
went out and looked at that
Yeah, you did. We used to do the average.
one. You wanna make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we take an average of a previous 3 months, based on Adam going out there and just making sure everything's taken care of, and reimbursing for the sewer. That was not discharged until they paid it.
You haven't paid it right yet? You haven't paid it?
Not yet, but I will, because I'll pay the whole thing in about, tomorrow morning. Because I'm not gonna wait until,
Right, you pay so you're making the motion, pay the water bill.
Making a motion, so that bill has to be paid, right? So,
No, okay, so if you're going to, you want me to do a 3-month average on his sewage portion.
that's correct.
That's what we're going to bill him for. We're going to adjust the rest off.
Right.
Yes.
I
There's
will,
no- So there would be no reimbursements on it.
Right,
He's
yeah,
no.
making the
He has-
adjustment.
Okay.
I can do that, I can adjust it anytime. So I can do that tomorrow. I can come in and see what your average is and adjust it off.
Okay.
The difference, adjust the difference off of the 3 months.
Right, but you'll still pay the water.
oh, yeah, the
And
meter,
then
the meter to
and then-
meter, I mean, it takes
Right,
energy
and
to
then
put it up there.
And then, just so we're following what it says, have Adam come out and look and say, yeah, it was leaking in your crawl space.
Sure,
Hey Dave, can you
That's
come in
fair.
Thursday morning and do this with me, please?
Thursday morning, yeah.
You come in at 7 usually, right?
Mm-hmm,
I'll take care of it.
okay.
And require proof of the fix.
And then give us proof of the fix when you get it done.
Sure.
Picture or receipt.
Picture, bill material, the whole gambit.
Okay,
Yeah, 'cause the way I see it right now, I gotta turn around and cut both lines and take out a section of it.
okay, so the motion is pay the water bill, sewer will be adjusted, he'll only be billed basically for a 3-month average. 3-month average,
With verification.
with verification and everything. Okay. I'll second the motion. I won't repeat that because I already did. Mrs. Riddell.
Yes.
Mrs. Pecorski.
Yes.
Mr. Shinsky.
Yes.
Mr. Pat. Yes. Albert votes yes, passes 5-0. Okay. Anything else on utilities? Nope. Okay. The guys that are here from the garbage, we're be here on shortly. Streets.
Really don't have nothing to report on the department head, other than I'll mention to Bubba. He said he's had low water pressure in his building ever since that valve's been leaking down there. That you guys are gonna get on it, so he'll be happy. And on a community crossing grant, we have the proposals for paving.
Yeah, did you review the bids?
Yeah.
We wanna award the bid.
Well, I don't know how you want to handle this. The bids came in, the total Reeve Riley bid amount was $341,526.60. Walsh and Kelly was $413,659.75. So tonight, if you want to, you can make a motion to award the work to Reeve Riley, subject to and contingent on
Right.
receipt of the signed contracts from the state, because we don't have them back yet, on the community crossings grant, as well as receipt of the grant proceeds. So we'll make sure we have it. And that way, once those things come in, then the contracts can be signed and things can move along.
The difference this year, the state is doing it in 2 different times, and they seem to be lagging behind for some reason. So I've talked to Marcy, who's the head of the district up here, and she said It'll be about 3 weeks, that was a week ago, so I said, well, you know, we gotta have everything closed by April 15th. And she said that shouldn't be a problem, she said there. But Lori's gonna get in contact with her Thursday and see what.
I mean, the other
Because they'll
option,
be sent to Lori, and then we'll have to send them back, so we get our money.
I mean, the other option is to push it to the April meeting, but boy, that's the 9th, you're right on top of the 15th.
Yeah, that's, I'd like to make a motion that we award the paving of the roads for this year to Reach Riley for $341,526.60. On contention of what Randy said, and have the grant money and the contracts.
I'll second the motion. Motion made by Mr. Krasinski, second by Albert. Is there any discussion? Mrs. Riddell?
Yes.
Mrs. Beforiski?
Yes.
Mr. Krasinski?
Yes, and at that time, we'll give them a motion to proceed.
Okay. Mr. Pratt? Yes. Albert votes yes, 5-0. Sale of the mower.
We talked about this already real quickly, but Bubba wants to dispose of a mower that he no longer needs. It's the 2013 Kubota zero turn. So I guess we could add the sludge dumpster to this motion. I just like on record that you are agreeable and want us to go ahead and notice for sale. And there'll probably be 4 bids to come in at the May meeting for both the mower and the sludge dumpster.
Okay. I'll make that motion.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Albert, seconded by Mr. Pfaff to advertise for sale the mower from the street department and the dumpster from utilities. Any discussion? Mrs. Riddell?
Yes.
Mrs. Beforiski?
Yes.
Mr. Krasinski?
Yes.
Mr. Pfaff? Yes. Albert votes yes, passes 5-0. Anything else on streets?
That's it.
Okay. Parks, we have men's softball. Everything is the same as last year,
Okay.
same deal and everything. So, I'll make a motion that we keep the fees for the softball the same and make the payment schedule the same as it was in the past.
I second that one.
Okay, motion made by Albert, seconded by Mrs. Beforiski. Is there any discussion? Mrs. Riddell?
Yes.
Mrs. Beforiski?
Yes.
Mr. Krasinski?
Yes.
Mr. Pfaff? Yes. Albert votes yes, passes 5-0. Police?
For February, we had 450 total calls for service, 60 traffic stops, 7 crash investigations, 257 business checks, and 16 assist other agency calls.
Just to update, I've talked to a couple of contractors on the generator and everything at the police. I'm gonna meet with one tomorrow, but we could also maybe get a NIPSCO when we consolidate into one service. It might put us in a different rate plan too. So Tom will be working with me on that one. Actually, let the other hand, please. Okay, finance, waste removal bid openings. That's what we've all been waiting for. First is from Waste Management. Kind of like the Academy Awards. A one-year contract, $13.70 for just a one-year term, $13.75 per unit. An estimated annual cost of 680 units is $112,200. A two-year contract, the first year would be $12.75 a unit, and the total for 680 units would be $104,040. The second year of the contract would be $13.29 per unit, and the total estimated annual cost for 680 units would be $108,446.40. Three-year term, first year per unit is $11.97. The annual would be $97,675.20. The second year would be $12.57 per unit. Annual cost estimate $102,571.20. And the third year would be $13.20 per unit for $107,712.
Dumpsters address.
The town garage, a 6-yard front load container service one time per week for $140 a month firm for the duration of the contract term, regardless whether the town chooses a 1, 2, or 3-year term. The water plant, 6 yard, same as the garage, $140 a month, regardless if it's 1, 2, or 3, and the wastewater treatment plant. A 2-yard front-load container service 1 time per week for $46.50 a month for a duration of the contract, regardless whether 1, 2, or 3.
Which was the last one?
The wastewater, it's a 2-yard for $46.50.
Okay, so the garage was a 6 yard at 140.
Right, and the water plant's a 6 yard at 140.
Okay, and the third one was
A 2-yard,
at,
$46.50.
and that's at what location?
Wastewater plant. And from Republic Services of Indiana. Okay, the year 1 is $16.50 per unit per month. The optional second year is $17.24 per unit per month. And the third year, optional year, is $18.02 per month. The above pricing includes dumpster service listed in the bid from municipal buildings 1 time per week for 1 large item, weekly trash removal, and 1 time per week residential curbside collection. This would also include 1 96-gallon wheeled container delivered to each residence. Branches are accepted curbside no longer than 4 feet in length and bundled. Grass clippings are allowed with the trash for weekly collection. Refrigerated units must have freon removed and door off for collection. I think that is the only pricing that I see in here. Is that correct?
I believe so.
Okay.
Can you read those again?
Yeah.
First year is how much?
$16.50 per unit.
Second year?
Second year is $17.24. And third year is $18.02. So if I read that right, it's also the 2 6-yard dumpsters and a 2-yard. It says includes dumpster service listed in the bid for municipal buildings, so looks like it's all rolled into that price. I make a motion that we submit these for review and award the contract at the April meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Motion made by Albert, seconded by Mr. Wyszynski to open these, and since we've opened them, have them for review and award the contract at the April meeting. Any discussion? Mrs. Bell? Mrs. Saporsky?
Yes.
Mr. Wyszynski?
Yes.
Mr. Pfaff? Yes. Albert votes yes, passes 5-0. Any miscellaneous? Any citizen comments? Anything else to come before the council? By the way, before we get done, Darren is going to the FBI National Academy, and we'll be gone a couple of months. Our meeting should be a little shorter.
Yeah, that's why we started tonight.
What is it you're doing?
April 1st it starts. I'll be
And
back.
over June?
I'll be back to work June 10th.
So good luck, have fun,
Thank you.
you'll make us proud.
And he's going down the yellow brick road.
He's going down the Yellow Brick Road, and I plan to be there to watch him graduate, so
Cool.
I don't ruin my vacation
Yeah,
days. Graduate. Is there anything else?
He's so kind.
He is.
No, seriously, have fun.
Thank you.
I'll look for a motion to adjourn. Mrs. Janelle?
So moved.
second, Mrs. Paprocki?
Yes.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, being none, the meeting adjourns at 7:44.